What's up, guys? It's Oblivious Gamer here, and well, we actually got some news about the Legend of Heroes. So, the last game that came out in Japan was the Legends of Heroes Kuro no Kiseki, or as it's going to be known here in the West, Trails Through Daybreak. Now, the last game came out in 2022, which was Kuro no Kiseki 2 or Trails Through Daybreak 2. Now, they announced a new Legend of Heroes game that will be coming out 2024. And that game is going to be called The Legend of Heroes Kai no Kiseki Farewell O Zemuria. It will be launched 2024 in Japan, of course, with unspecified platforms, but that's probably going to be PlayStation and then eventually Switch, and then you know how these games usually come by Falcom. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I don't know why they keep saying unspecified when we all know it's probably going to come for the PlayStation. There are some details about the game, which basically in the year 120X, everything comes to an end. C. Epstein, the father of the Orbital Revolution, prophesies the end of the Zemuria continent. As X-Day approaches, a massive orbital rocket is about to be launched from a large military base built in the Kunlun range. Can man make it past the planet's atmosphere? What lies at the end of the continent? Will mankind be able to uncover the true nature of the world? While the whole world watches to witness the largest undertaking since the dawn of history, somewhere in the singularity that is Orid, forces from all over the land were about to gather, including a young Spriggan. Will the single trail toward the distant heavens ultimately shape the future of Zemuria? Or, it seems like, could this be a conclusion or an end of this phase? I mean, the story of the Zemuria continent has been going on for quite a while. As you guys know, it started with Trails in the Sky and has continued through Trails from Zero, Trails to Azure, Trails of Cold Steel, Trails into Revere, and of course now Trails for Daybreak. There was a bit of a surprise because people were expecting maybe a third game from Trails through Daybreak, but it seems they're going a different direction. Like I said, maybe this is going to be a conclusion, though probably Van is going to be the next protagonist for this game too, because remember at the description it does this, including a young Spriggan, which so far Van is the only Spriggan that we know, unless it's a completely new protagonist, but I doubt it. But yeah, I mean, I'm really curious to see what this is going to be, if this is going to be the conclusion to everything. Like I said, this game, or the story of the Zemuria continent, has been going for quite some time. There's a lot of characters, there's a lot of stuff, and maybe it's getting too daunting for them. I don't know, just my opinion. There's so much that you can add before it's just too much. There's a mention that maybe Kuro no Kiseki didn't sell as much as they expected, so maybe they were like, okay, let's wrap this up. Who knows? Here in the West, though, we are a bit behind, though we are catching up. I mean, we're still missing the Kuro no Kiseki games, though Kuro no Kiseki 1 or Trails Through Daybreak is supposed to come out here in the West next year. Don't know when they're gonna release the second one though, but it's probably like 2025? So then we're probably gonna be 1 year behind in terms of the Legend of Heroes games once the two Kuro no Kisekis are localized. We'll have to see. Another thing that is interesting to see is, are we gonna see the return of Rin? Are we gonna see the return of Lloyd? Because as I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if we see any of them in the game, as Rin's probably one of their most popular characters. And I know Lloyd is also popular, so maybe they're going to be back in the game to help with the sales. I don't know. I would be fine with seeing them back. They do also understand is like, the point of Kuro no Kiseki was kind of like, let's pass the baton to another character. Let's see this other side of the continent. But with how things are and how this is supposed to be, or it's approaching what seems to be like a conclusion, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of our heroes from the previous games return here. The other thing though is, it seems this is going to be going to space. As it mentions, they're trying to launch a rocket, so maybe we're gonna be in space at some point. Who knows? But yeah, I'm pretty interested. I'm looking forward for this. I'll be playing the game when it comes out. As always though guys, what are your thoughts? This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.